Okay, welcome. This is the Debug half or 2/3 of the Debug log crew.
66% repeating, of course.
Yeah. Now that we're on YouTube, I think we're gonna start trying some experiments. And tonight we thought it's been E3 was a couple of weeks ago, but I thought we should just go through some of these videos and react to some of the announcements and reveals. Ryan's been on vacation, so we haven't had a chance to catch up on all this really. Yeah. If you count playing Apex Legends and kind of ranting about it, catching up, but we haven't really caught up on some of this.
Not officially caught up yet,
yeah, and the State of Play came out today with the PlayStation 1 because they didn't have a thing at E3, right? At all.
Not as big as one. I mean, they had some stuff, like there was some Horizon footage, I believe.
But they didn't have a press conference though.
No, I mean, not a lot of.
This is their basically E3 sort of thing. So
right.
I thought we'd go through talk about some of the E3 stuff we liked, show some of those trailers, talk about them, and then also maybe kind of skim through we don't have to watch all of it, but skim through some of the State of Play stuff. And with the magic of video, we can do this with everybody at home. So first up, we found this amazing article from IGN that recap this all for us. If we don't have to be journalists because people are journalists for us.
No. Yes.
The biggest thing, I guess, the first night, because I watched that Jeff Keighley special, which is technically not part of E3, but it's like Summer Games Fest. It was like Amazon or something hosted it. Wasn't it? Like, that's where this Elden Ring trailer came from. And this Elden thing, this is, again, from Software and George R.R. Martin. Yep.
While he's not finishing his Game of Thrones things, he's doing this.
Winds of Winter, yeah. So let's just watch it. This is we have yet to the spoiler alert for Ryan and I are working or cooking up, not actually working, but in our heads cooking up a Dark Souls from Software, maybe from Software Souls like analysis episode one day.
Exactly, yeah. Because if anyone doesn't know, this is coming from like he said, the Dark Souls games people. So.
Yeah. How old am I? Let's hide that for the viewers.
53, right? No.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Here we go. The thing about this is beginning looks like every Souls. You have audio, right?
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah. It is. It's very Souls-ish and.
The Tarnished.
Yep, there you go. The Tarnished, the Hollow, the
creepy child,
the Ashen one.
Yeah. This is like
once lost.
Somebody made. It's funny because what's the name of the Tree of Life in Thor, Isildur, or every game, including this one. There's it's like in 4 different games this year. It's the year of
Norse
mythology. The Tree of
Life.
Yeah, that's cool. If that's a gameplay thing. Where you can manifest a horse or ox or whatever this thing is.
Well, that makes me wonder how big is the world if you need a mount? Because previous Souls games you're just walking everywhere. So.
Yeah, this sort of looks like Fable-ish, like size world or Skyrim. Like,
right.
I wonder. I mean, this all looks like Dark Souls with like a Celtic sort of flair.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I'm sold. I mean, I feel like anybody who's played a Souls game and enjoys them, it's like great. If George R.R. Martin's putting his fingerprint on it, that's cool. But I'm getting another Souls game.
Yeah, I told you this when we were playing Apex the other night. It's like I don't really. I mean, if they made the same mechanics every year, I like just playing the new Souls. Like to me, I like the mechanics in Dark Souls 1 the best. So I was like, I don't need huge innovation because usually they make things a pain in my ass when they innovate. But like,
right.
I do like the prospect of having some more like I do love there's something special about that first game. It feels like a weird dream to me. I have like a poster on my wall from Dark Souls 1. I love Dark Souls 1. It's one of my favorite. It feels like a weird fever dream, like a dream you'd have. Like
right. But I mean,
that being said, I'd like the story though more.
Yeah, and this game, like, what are we seeing so far? It looks like right now it looks like there's going to be multiple builds. Like I've seen people with different swords and armor. I'm just thinking about Sekiro and how that was like kind of focus you in on one character in a certain play style.
Look, it's a Burger Head King, guys.
Yeah,
the Burger King, guys.
But I mean,
yeah, this looked definitely. I mean, this looks like Dark Souls. It looks like you have different builds.
yeah,
You have different magic builds.
finger monster. It's crazy shit.
The Elden Ring.
It just looks like really nice high def 4K Dark Souls
For all
Mhm.
of us.
with like Celtic influence. So I mean, I'm in.
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
totally.
there's
Yeah.
That wasn't much of a. That I mean, to me, that was like honestly. Let me pause that. That was like one of the best things I saw though from this whole thing, just because that was the gameplay. You usually don't see a lot of gameplay of these things.
Right. And you were mentioning like the horse being a mechanic earlier. It's like I saw some of the fights in there. It looked like you were jumping around on the horse and fighting people. So
Right.
that looks like
I
an
like
interesting new sort of mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. I mean, that would be a mechanic I'd like. If you, I mean, the first game's so interesting because I don't want to dig into that because we can dig all night about that. But
Yeah.
it's so cool because it's like a big board and it is open world in a sense, but it's all this whole interweaving. It's open world and then it's a collection of paths. It's not like Skyrim, which is like here's the whole world. I mean, any direction there you go find something. That would be really wild if it's that. If it actually is like a Breath of the Wild sort of open world sort of thing.
I mean, that would be a surprising, but not too.
It'd be a
far
terrifying world too.
They always had multiple
explore.
paths you could go, right? It's like it wasn't completely open world, but there were times where I'm getting kind of stuck here, but maybe I could go over here. Especially like Demon's Souls. I mean, you straight up teleported between. There was a hub world.
You're totally reminding me though. Is that those games that are built on like pass fail sort of thing? Like if they're based on like the things are always going to respawn the same way, the same time. So if you like, it's like Edge of Tomorrow, that movie. It's like by the time you get good in Dark Souls, you're like boom, boom, block him, do this. Like, whereas if it's like an open world, it has to be more random, and they've never done that before. That would be interesting.
That's fair.
Difficulty, but random, and you can't just really know how to aggro this guy on this bridge every time, all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's randomness in the other ones, but they're very straight. Like the enemies spawn in the same spots.
Absolutely. I mean, it definitely becomes more almost a puzzle game sometimes.
Right.
Like, okay, I now know I'm walking into this area, and here's what I have to do. Here's who these guys are. Here's what I have to deal with. But yeah, if you're running complete open world, it's like, how do you deal with that randomness? Necessarily. So.
Well, that's a good segue. So we're on for that. We're down for that, I think. And again, we're gonna dig into Souls games, I think, more mechanic wise. Because we're the only two crazy people on the show that have played them. Speaking of Skyrim, do you like Skyrim? How about Skyrim in space?
Oh, sold. Elevator pitch. Got me.
Again, so this is a game. This is the thing. I'm gonna say, let's see, 18. I think I'm gonna be in. This is the game that we they announced 2 years ago.
It was at an E3 they had an announcement like 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah.
And it's still, we haven't seen any. This is the first, and it still didn't show gameplay, right? We'll watch this in a second.
Is super generic, but I mean,
let's just play it, and I'll keep it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about here besides, hey, if you're into space, and it's pretty cool.
It is cool. Like now, this is newly Microsoft owned Bethesda now, so
yeah,
they have any more money.
Well, that was a big point about the E3 announcements that I really liked is how much stuff Microsoft is just flat out putting on Game Pass day one.
Right. This is all Game Pass day one. Yeah, we're not gonna have to buy this game.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal subscriber to Game Pass now, even if I don't play it.
Absolutely. I've got the
such
ultimate.
A good deal.
Yeah.
I do too. I have $15 a month. It's such a good deal.
Why not? You translate that into 1 year, you're talking like
what is that?
Maybe 150 and like
it's like buying 3 games a year.
Yeah.
Right? Basically.
Yeah, 3 games a year essentially. Yeah, it's $60 a pop, absolutely. And
they say.
And you can get something like this for free.
And we've experimented, and this game I'll play for 200 hours probably.
By the way, that's awesome. The display, it's like a P90 with the digital readouts.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, they're going. This is real. This is like Earth as a home-based thing. This isn't like, which is interesting because maybe right? Did they mention Earth or something in this? This is the moon, right?
I'm not sure.
Working towards.
Oh, maybe I thought they mentioned like the space program, something in one of these.
Come to the beginning.
Well, they mentioned
humanity's final journey.
being part of a program to.
Okay, maybe not.
They're very vague about it, if I remember.
Because like Skyrim is not like Earth based. It's like this is like another planet, like or not Skyrim, but all of Oblivion or all of Elder Scrolls.
To discover what's out there.
That's what they're saying. One of these planets is, what was it, Fladriel or whatever? Because I think they were saying in lore, this is that. I always thought the idea was that in lore, this is that area in the future. This is like, I mean, this like Elder Scrolls happen in this universe.
Oh, so, wow. So
maybe not. And that could be.
But what happened to magic then? Because did science just take over?
It's like it always does.
Xbox Game Pass.
No. But yeah, I'm totally sold on this. I mean, like wherever they were, whatever they're doing, it's like it feels like not too far flung future. You know, it's like there's a lot of like more touch screen.
I'm incredibly excited because today I get to talk.
Interesting type of displays and ergonomics to the spaceship and things like that. But I mean, it doesn't feel too far out, and they talk about this, exploring and discovering. Right. So hopefully it's. Like you said, something maybe Skyrim-esque or just an open world game they're creating, maybe a No Man's Sky with a little more quest, focus type of thing. That would be amazing. But, I also don't want to set myself up for too much there because we know how games can go between promise and release. So,
I'm excited. I mean, again, Skyrim, those games and Fallout 4 are not perfect games, but they're guaranteed I'm going to play over 100-hour games. It's like a weird.
Oh, yeah.
They're almost like the Marvel movies of like games where it's like, well, I mean, their stories aren't very good. Let's not get that confused. But like the Skyrim games, not Marvel, but I know it's going to be a fun 100-hour experience no matter what. Like it's going to be
something I may come back to later too.
Fun.
Just like I need to spend some time.
They're the best piddling games of walking. I mean, Skyrim did something new that I hope. That's the thing. It's like. In this game, and then whatever they're working on Elder Scrolls 6, I hope they don't lose. Is Fallout? I guess it's like that before, but I don't want to explore that world as much. But it's like just being able to explore and just go. All right, let me find this weird house. Oh, this note I read. Oh, what? There's so much story just in just random places in Skyrim. And it's amazing that game was made like over 12 years ago or 10 years. Oh yeah, and they all fitted on one 4 gig disc. And the amount of content in that game, I need to go back and now on the Game Pass. It's in because I never played the special like revamped edition. Kind of want to just dig into it some more. It's a great podcasting game, like while you're listening to podcasts or something. Just walk through.
Do it, man. Yeah, no, I keep going back to it every few years. It's like, hey, they'll release a new edition. And it's on Game Pass. I'm just like, okay, I'll buy it because they up-resed it and did some new stuff to it. I'm like. And then I jump back in. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. I create a character and I'm wandering around and just exploring again. So it's pretty cool.
All right, what else are we gonna watch in here in the main?
Oh, we gotta watch Breath
of the Wild.
But yeah, Breath of the Wild. I'm
Let's watch that.
I don't remember. I remember there's a lot of free falling in this.
Well, I guess it's showing how high in verticality you can go too, if that's part of.
Yeah, which I'm kind of curious what they're doing to the world, but let's watch this.
I never beat this first game. I had it for a little bit. I think I borrowed it, and then
I never cared about beating it. I just had fun, like wandering around.
I didn't have fun playing on this Switch. Like, and then
look at this. What is this? Kid
It's cool though.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I love Kid Icarus.
Yeah.
It's Skyrim, and it's BioShock Infinite.
Like, what are some of these mechanics? Is it time reversal? Is it like climbing through stuff? Like
he just sucked through them.
Yeah, it was green goo now.
This look at this stuff where it looks like it's a cartoon, but it's not. Like, I love this.
So, what do you think they're gonna do with the world in this? You know what I mean? It's like, is it going to be the same world but altered because of circumstances from the first game?
It looks like this is like some sort of like plague or corrupted world sort of thing happening here. That must be, or maybe you find other cities, but something happens.
But yeah, like how do they introduce all that verticality? Like there's all those floating islands and stuff, and it's
that has to be how they do it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd just be curious, like, how that's going to play out, because, like, one of the biggest things was I loved exploring that world and, like, kind of, just finding all the little bits and pieces here and there. Are they going to have the same world and just corrupt it, or are they going to add new stuff vertically to it? I'm very curious where they're going with that. It's a very vague video, so.
Well, it seems like, I mean, when they do those things, those like the second ones can always be better because you're building off that world and they can just kind of expand mechanics and see what that stuff is. I didn't know what this is. I'm gonna watch all this.
Like being in a firefight and hearing.
I didn't even. I'm just gonna skip through this.
I am there. Remember how excited I was with like this.
Man, I'm excited about this. I love Halo so much. I hope this is good.
Yeah, so if I remember some of the highlights from this, it's everybody sort of drops in as equals, like, but there's a lot of stuff you can find around the map, if I remember correctly.
Halo multiplayer is still not. I mean, from the games that we play, even from Destiny to,
Halo
to,
and for me, it boils
it's
down
the
to
most like battle royale the way that multiplayer, because usually games nowadays go to the Call of Duty way where you have loadouts and everything. And Halo was the way where like
that way at one point too. Yeah.
Well, they moved into that, but before that, their thing like Halo 3 is the peak of them, I think, and like they have like that rocket launcher's always there, so you go add rush, go get it, or wait till it respawns right there. Like there's a lot of tacticalness about running to know where the gun you want to get. It was like a puzzle gun too, like the same.
an experience that's going to evolve.
Yeah, and I think that
game to nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what they're going for in this one. Like I said, it's sort of battle royale-ish. Well, just dropping in from above is maybe the only aspect that's kind of battle royale-ish. But they are talking about how you come in like sort of all on an even playing field, and then like a lot of the weapons are spread about to find and like you said, tactically.
That's how I always did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this weird shader they're putting up when it hits the white on? They're breaking their shield at that point. What is that? You see them watch when they shoot somebody.
Developing your playstyle as you run through.
No, not that guy.
Is it when you're shooting or getting shot?
I feel like
it showed when he was shooting somebody. I thought, like they went all white. I mean, it's just like stylistic. God dang, it's not doing it now. I can't find it. It's like doing it every single.
has a bigger voice than ever before.
Well,
yeah, I wonder.
They got that grappling hook now too.
If you could go
I mean, to me, like, here's the thing. I wish to say, you kind of did it there for a second, but like, wait till they're shooting somebody. But I mean, this looks like it's a lot of this stuff, like swinging around and doing stuff. It's like, well, welcome to like first-person shooters nowadays. Like, some of this stuff is like a little like that. You see how like it did like an outline within, like they have like a weird.
Super amazing.
You didn't.
Oh, like I just figured the guy had a shield on or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
But it's like it must be like him breaking his shield or something. But to me, I always just like, yeah, we should have Halo like battle like Royale or something. But to me, like Apex is that. Apex has taken on the feel and fluidity that used to be what Halo was like, and Bungie was all about. And Destiny still has the fluidity too, but Apex does some kind of amazing things with even how they do powers and stuff for that kind of thing. This is like be interesting to see if we can just have a regular multiplayer, because Destiny's multiplayer is also shit. Like, it just is not fun, especially now. If you want to get frozen every 2 seconds, try Destiny 2's multiplayer now.
Jeez. Well, see, here's the thing is, like, I don't really want an Apex or a Destiny multiplayer. I want some just straight up Halo deathmatch stuff. I mean, that's what made it fun.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah, I just want straight up, like, craziness, just killing people. And even Big Team Battles is fun. It's 16 on 16, but it's just straight up killing, chaos. Vehicles,
and a lot of what they're going to here now is like stuff I think's fun, where it's like, hey, there's a shit ton of customization you can do in your look and feel, and like decals and armor and all this stuff. And I think it's fun. Like I don't think there was a lot of like or maybe even any like, hey, this is going to put you up above somebody else for unlocks or anything like that. It's like, nope. You can buy a lot of cosmetics, you can earn a lot of cosmetics, but it's pretty much just going to be like multiplayer fighting.
Yeah, the game. There's something about me. I'm just that's why I think probably like Apex over even COD and like Warzone and stuff. I'm such like kind of a Spartan about like I like a minimalist about things, about taking as much as you can out, And that's why I was like Halo in just the regular deathmatch stuff, because it was just straight up, as compared to like even 1942 was like that. Battlefield, the old Battlefield was like that too. It's like just get in here, just jump on some car, and they're going by, go grab some gun, like. It was craziness, and people run around, you respawn, like it was meant to be died and respawned
Right,
a billion times too. Now it's like, well, do this load match, get all your loadout, buy your guns back, buy your perks. It's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. Can't I just play and just kind of go run around and shoot people, pick up a gun? I think that's why I sort of love an Apex so much, because it feels like the randomness, like just pick up whatever you can here and go shoot that guy. You're not buying loadouts.
If you
You're
just
not
want
buying
raw carnage and competition. Yeah, you drop back to something like Quake 3 or Rocket Arena.
Well, those get too. Well, yeah. Those get too intense. So, I mean, we should play Halo 3. I played Halo 3 some on the Master Chief Collection. It's been like that. Did you see this? You saw this. It's Borderlands. It just is like
some of this, maybe, I don't know.
It's just like it's just.
I'm getting less and less. Honestly, I'm getting kind of less and less like interested in Borderlands.
Borderlands 2 was a peak.
But
Well, this is like some kind of fantasy thing, which would be kind of cool, I guess. But their whole shtick is like so grown thin with people. Like, it has a cool cast though. It has like Will Arnett and Andy Samberg and stuff. Like, but this doesn't show anything. It just it feels like it's like Borderlands with a tiny Tina. Their whole shtick is sort of.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they have like a big ass movie coming out with Kate Blanchett. Yeah. Like Outer Worlds 2. I haven't finished that first one. I need to finish that one before I get into that.
Outer Worlds 2, I'm up for it. Like I like the first one just because it felt like, you know,
just like a
one of these old
Skyrim
Bethesda games, a Skyrim type game, you know, in space, and kind of this kitschy little weird sort of sci-fi aspect to it.
Sea of Thieves.
Okay, that was kind of interesting to me. The Sea of Thieves thing with the crossover here, like they've like been putting out a ton of content for this. Like
this seems
I
like
played initially, and there just wasn't a lot going on there. But now it seems like they got a ton of stuff.
Yeah, we might need to do like a debug log, get Zach on and do some like playthrough stream or something, because I haven't messed with this game, but you guys played it when I wasn't playing it, so. It'd be fun to see just mess around for a few hours in it. But this seems like such the obvious move. They'd be stupid if they didn't. If they weren't passionately pursuing this tie-in from day one, like this seems so obvious. I mean, I don't know how much weight this. I'm sure it's still pretty.
I mean, the franchise still carries some. I don't know. Johnny Depp's not doing too well right now. It seems like, but whatever.
Are they still? Are they done with these movies? I think they are. I don't think I saw the last couple of these.
Captain Jack Sparrow. But I suspect you already knew that.
But the first movie is so brilliant. So this ties in. Like this is all.
Yeah, the first couple are. I mean, but they kind of did a cash grab on them. And they just got crazier and crazier as things happen.
If it's not stopped.
But this is like something the other ones don't have. That was like a story mode at all, right? The Sea of Thieves doesn't have any story.
Not really. I mean, it's got a bunch of quests and stuff. But this definitely seems like more of a story mode.
The so-called Sea of Thieves is nothing but Gertrude.
Yeah, this will be fun to try.
I mean, there's like underwater stuff now that definitely wasn't there before.
Oh yes, and now one TV show.
Well, I like this. This is cool. Yeah. I definitely will try that.
I think it's
because also
right
it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
What else is the big announcements from there? Contraband, Flight Sim, Top Gun.
Yeah, that was kind of fun, but whatever. Pass gets even better. Yeah, you probably go.
Far Cry.
There was one. Scroll back up. There was one. Scroll back up.
Yeah. Rocksmith Plus, Diablo, Babylon, Far Cry 6, DLC, Hades, Top Gun, Contraband. That's the only one.
No.
Rainbow Six Extraction, which was called Quarantine.
Wait, almost 2. Hopefully you're not scrolling. Oh, there
Redfall.
it is. Vampire Shooter Redfall. Check this out. This is think
Arcane,
of Left 4
right?
Dead with like weird sort of arcane vampire stuff.
Yeah, this is Dishonored people because this power looks like Dishonored, like the Blink or whatever.
Yeah, Bethesda again. Gonna get this day one probably.
Yeah, Arcane Austin. Yeah, so there's people that made Dishonored. Yeah, this is so cool. I love weird sci-fi, fictional tech.
Occult,
like that.
so yeah, sort of stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This sort of reminds me of that Sweet Tooth show a little bit, or like
How was that? I hadn't watched that.
It's pretty good. There's a movie called Love and Monsters too. There's also post-apocalyptic. This and like they have robots and monsters, sort of like this too. Is this like zombies or just all vampires? Or is it like no, I Am Legend, like zombie vampires?
I don't know. It seems like occult stuff. Like, yeah, there's definitely vampires in this one. But like a lot of these people have powers. That,
I'd have missed Left 4 Dead so much. Left 4 Dead was. People say that Vermintide. We need to try that. The Vermintide 2 is on Game Pass. They say it's like that. It's more like Melee, but it is.
It kind
like,
of is, yeah.
Have you played it?
There's also Back for Blood that's coming out later this year, which is Turtle Rock. So they've got a new sort of take.
Oh yeah, we need to play that then because I played the crap out of those 2 games.
Oh, Left 4 Dead 2.
Then they just stopped making them. Valve is so strange.
Valve. They don't go to 3, man. Like it's a classic joke meme type of thing.
It doesn't know how to count to 3.
Yeah.
No episode 3. No Half-Life 3. No Dota 3.
They just moved to VR and like titled it something else.
Yeah. But Left 4 Dead was so great. That's what this feels like. Yeah, these unique characters and stuff. Like, I mean, if you did Left 4 Dead nowadays, you could it could be like the Apex with the less roster characters, like they all have their powers. Like this. So this looks like they each have their own little specialty. Like a Left 4 Dead with like a kind of class-based power system like Apex, like what this looks like, it'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You just pick different. Because I don't remember. I think in Left 4 Dead it didn't matter. I mean, they didn't have special. They were just you're that character. I don't think they had special delineations between the characters.
No, Left 4 Dead was always just like, hey, yeah, they have their own personalities, but you're just grabbing guns. And,
but imagine that, with each specialties you can play a game like that, like over and over again, and they did so much cool, like innovative stuff for that. The AI director and all that stuff they had in Left 4 Dead. Like,
I wonder what happens with balance in the game though when you start adding unique powers. I mean, I guess it wouldn't get too far off. Maybe,
well, if you do it, that's the thing. I mean, my theory would be the reason I like talk about Apex because I think Apex, their powers are so situational. It's not like a Destiny or something where it's like, hey, with 3 classes, but they're all basically damage class like powers. Like, do you want to get shot with lightning or fire or ice? Which one? It's basically the same thing. Whereas like Apex has ones that are like, well, this only works in this specific situation. If you're up close at the end of the game, that's where this power is good. And if you have enough of those, you get a good variety. And that's what probably would be like this. If you have a support class, it really is only good for, like that guy only makes elevators. You know what I mean? That doesn't work all the time here in this situation, but it could work really well if you need an elevator, That's probably how you keep that balance, I think. You make nobody sort of an all-around one-on-one thing. Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny because now that you're mentioning that, I'm starting to think of the Division 2. I don't know if you ever played any of that. Like,
I played the first one, not the second one.
Yeah. Well, it's like you kind of almost get into some classy stuff into that. Not explicitly, but it's like depending on your loadout and your gadgets you bring with you, it's like, are you going to be the damage guy? Are you going to be the armor guy? Are you going to be the, sort of distraction guy type of thing? So it could definitely work because that's another game where it's like you're running around in a party of multiple people, like you against the bad guys type of thing.
There's a whole year for this thing. In that title,
everything
that's all
in
it
here
is.
like, another year away, which is the kind of frustrating bit. But I mean, it's also like, okay, in 2022, I'll get a lot of games on my Game Pass.
Right. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, I think Xbox, this is the first year that they went to this whole format where they're going between actually, basically going between, they took over Bethesda's thing. This is the first one because I guess last year's E3 was might not happen.
Last year's a wash, man. Yeah, it's like.
But now they've taken over. What is it? Taken over. Sorry, I'm just queuing this up. Taken over, acquired, and all that stuff. That actually helps it a lot because now they can actually they just have. I mean, it made like over the past 5 years they bought like 40 studios or something like that.
Yeah,
they've all been incredible studios.
Yeah, and it's starting to show now where it's like, here is the value that Game Pass offers. They have purchased all these studios. They have like set themselves up to say, great, we're going to let them do what they do best. And then we're going to say, pay us for Game Pass. We'll keep the studios running. We'll see. I don't know how that plays out, all the economics of it. But as a consumer, I'm like, great. Again, like we said, say $160 a year, and I get how many titles day one on Game Pass? That would have been like, if I just play 3 a year, I'm paying for it pretty much. So I don't know. I'm not like trying to sell everybody on Microsoft or Game Pass, but it's a pretty darn good deal.
I mean, it's crazy because so much new stuff is in there, and on the PC, there's other stuff that's not on the consoles. But even like stuff like that Outrider, once I finally got an Xbox Series X, I was playing that, and there's just like, I mean, from our standpoint, especially if people listen to us or watch us or care about this, it's like they might be coming from a developer standpoint. It's the best thing in the world because you get to sample like billion little games. I've downloaded a billion little things, like tried it for 10 minutes, like, that sucks. It's not for me. And I just deleted it. And it's like, you can't rent games anymore. So this is the only way you can actually do this. Like, we actually try stuff you'd never buy. You know what I mean?
Right, but it's so good for devs too, because some of that even goes into like in other situations, like not necessarily the Game Pass, but with Epic Store and releasing stuff for free. Remnant from the Ashes, like that was a freebie. I bought all their DLC because I was.
That might be my favorite game last year that we played. I love that game. It's on Game Pass now, which makes you like, I want to replay this game again. Like this,
right?
It's just like start at the beginning, and that's a great game.
Yeah, and guess what? It's like I never would have given them a dime because there was no marketing. I never heard of it. But it's like, oh, I can try it for free. Cool. Me and a couple buddies play it, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, And
it's one of the highlights of the past couple of years of our gaming experience. That we love that game for like 2 weeks. That's all we did. Like, it's such a great, like, yeah, it's a classic, and we never touched it. Yeah, I think giving away stuff is always the best. Like, when there's no marketing, when there's no point to it. Like,
when it's feasible, giving it away is great, and then just having some follow-up. Hey, give us like $20 a pop for this other stuff. Like, sure, I'm already on board with you guys. So.
Yeah, and we didn't. I don't know if it's in our Lost episode or we discussed about how they revealed like the Epic or the payouts for like free games and stuff. That might have been.
Oh, I think it was. Yeah,
but maybe but even that idea now that we see that even if they're not getting money when they do that sort of thing, they make a deal with them, so they're getting a like set amount.
Well, they get a flat rate, yeah. Like Subnautica got like a couple mil or something like that.
Yeah, so it's not like, but I think it's a good idea, especially for these companies, like you said. It's like it seems like the play is your game's been out for a year and a half or 2 years, and you're about to put out DLC. Mm-hmm. Like, give the damn thing away. Like, these things are, it's both alarming but honestly, this is a temporal field, though. I mean, we can archive stuff and play stuff, and still play Mario 1 as much as we want to, and those have a different cultural place, but just the regular game, like the value that it loses over time, it just happens, man, because you're not gonna, there's 80 other games, and you're not gonna, unless you become a top like 10 on somebody's list of all time, like a top 10er, like a Skyrim or something, you can keep charging $60, 12 years later, because people will buy it. They'll buy it on the new platform.
What Nintendo does, right? Yeah, but you're right. Over time,
Nintendo makes all their money on this by charging premium prices. I think if you bought in that old store, it's like $20 to buy Mario 1 or something, and they're like Nintendo Place store or whatever. It's like, yeah,
no, and you're absolutely right. There is a temporal, time-based aspect to things where if they don't start hitting people at a certain point, they're never going to hit them, because the next thing that's coming out, all of a sudden everybody's attention is drawn to that. So it's like, hey, if you're Remnant and you go for free on the Epic Store, you need to make sure you do that and then offer up some DLC real fast, and people like that and they'll play it immediately, because otherwise somebody may just be distracted by something else down the road.
Right, and that's why like Steam kind of came along and ate their lunch with all these sales and stuff, because you can buy like some $60 game for $1 during these sales. Like, this is amazing. Yeah. And while at the same time the consoles are still locked in, the 360 days locked to, like, you couldn't get an old game for less than $20. Remember, they didn't go below $20. Yeah. Like, period. And now it's a much different situation. Now they actually kind of
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
distracted almost by that intestinal-looking O button. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought before we leave tonight, we should skim through this real quick.
yeah.
This
Look
came
at
out
this.
today.
Bloop, bloop. It's my digestive system at work there.
This stuff took so much work for someone to make too, and it's like this is like the 30-minute pre-roll for.
Yeah,
Here
why
we
is
go.
this so long?
This is 30. Yeah. Don't they know you just post a video online? That's all you need to do, and it just comes
Come on. Yep, that's the thing. Nobody can buy.
There are those
Yeah,
who look
I
into the
got an
eyes
Xbox,
of
but Kane
another.
still haven't been able to get one of these.
See, I'm on the other end. I got a PS5. I don't have a Series
A
X
soul
yet.
to corrupt and twist.
This is what is this?
Their stories.
This is
are the ones
VR.
behind
I don't really
them.
care about this as much.
Wait, no, don't. Hold on.
Oh, this is
There are
Moss.
those
This is
who
Oh!
see potential.
Oh, is this just a remake of the?
this PlayStation VR
A
game.
chance to lift someone
Probably a
up, to
sequel.
achieve the impossible.
No, Moss came out for PlayStation VR first.
Their
Oh,
stories.
did? Oh, I mean,
I'm pretty
I don't know,
sure.
I have it on my Quest. I don't know.
So tell me,
You can tell those VR high-res textures.
because her
Like
story
this.
depends.
Are they gonna have a new VR?
I'm curious about the PlayStation VR. I don't think they're going to talk about it until next year, but
But it's gonna be a newer. Man, this thing's so loud. It's gonna be a newer version, right?
oh, I'm assuming so, right? You're going to have some pretty high-resolution, high-frequency headset at this point, especially with this new console. I mean, dare I say, almost 4K per
Yeah,
eye and 60
Sequel,
frames.
Moss Book 2.
Moss 2 is currently in development for PSVR. We've got some more exciting updates today, so let's
Man,
keep it
4K
going.
may be a
There's
stretch.
a flashy new multiplayer shooter from the team at Ilphonic.
Ilphonic.
Yeah, boy. I don't know.
Brand new IP.
A lot of neon? What was that? Freaked out Santa? What was that?
This looks like low textured too. This looks like a Switch game or something. Is this? What are these games? Is this PS5 games? What is this? This doesn't look like a PS5 game. What is this?
I don't know. This is very noisy.
We came
It's
for
going
the
from
thunder.
shooting to like sports arena to.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like the
ice.
texture, like the resolution of this is like low as hell. Like it
Yeah,
looks like a
I mean,
VR
I'm watching
game.
it.
It looks
on
like a
stream- on
VR game.
StreamYard, so, but,
I know it just looks like
Yeah.
a VR game though, or something. The
right.
graphical complexity. Like
God,
Fortnite
it's a
looks
VR
better than
game.
this.
This is going to be very disorienting. I feel like, but
It's a full game. It could be an indie game. That's what they're going for. I don't want to. Again, we should do disclaimers because we've never done this before. When we talk about things, these are all just our dumb opinions.
yeah, this is stupid.
We don't mean to
random
disparage
out.
anybody, developers or people that worked hard and stuff. We're just giving our flippant. That looks
Our,
weird.
our dumb brains don't understand it yet.
Yeah.
With free season updates.
We react to all confusion with hostility.
Oh yeah,
Where you play as an Harry.
I'm gonna start throwing feces at the screen. Rah!
This is the year of the Viking, man.
There are two primary game
Man.
modes, the session-based saga mode. and
All
the
of these
other
games, and you have to
mode
imagine this is a
that are
bigger
always
game, so it
for
probably went into
mid-guard, powering
development
up your
at the same
character,
time as
and
Valheim.
modifying
Like
your home village.
all these games,
Mhm.
this is something in the air at the same time or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think that just happens in society. It's like, yeah, there's a
there's
spark
like
of a
Vikings
genre
that show
or a
end or something.
theme
Like
or-
if Vikings
yeah.
had a season finale and they're like everybody's juiced to make a Vikings game or something.
Exclusive loot and a powerful new boss.
This looks kind of fun as far as like
There will
the
be 8
what was
different
it?
classes to unlock and choose from.
3-4 people in your
Let's take a
party.
quick look at the Ranger, one of our 2 starting classes.
I really
As
appreciate
game
trailers
levels,
like
you
this.
unlock game-changing abilities in your
They're not
class.
like super
And that's
exciting
what makes
sometimes,
them
but if you're really interested in this game,
like the lightning fast
you notice it's always showing, all it's doing is
powerful
showing gameplay, and they're
Classes are
explaining like
complementary,
fucking
it's fun to have a
upgrade
bit of
trees and
everything in your
stuff
tribe.
in it.
Yeah.
I love
We're
when they
excited
get
to see how
nerdy like this.
strategies will change as classes expand
Well, it's
with future updates.
it's obviously way more informative. Like
Right.
a pretty cinematic's great, but like
Season 1
you know, as a
also
consumer
introduces
and
runes,
what am I
which
going to
give
spend
you
my
new
hours
special
doing?
powers
This
to
is
customize your
way
character
more.
even
Yeah, for a certain
informative.
type of game, for Elden Ring, it's about getting you excited about that. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, I'll dig into the.
Powerful chain lightning
Well,
bolts.
well, the thing with Elden Ring is also, as far
They're
as lore
selling
and
cinema.
gameplay, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to be fighting stuff, but what that is, what the lore is, I mean, they've always made you sort of
part
dig
of
at that
every season
yourself.
saga
I mean,
quest.
you don't
It's
even
a
know what some of the
mysterious
power-ups
land,
do
and
until you're like,
face down your
well, I'll
most
just take this.
powerful challenge yet. And the
This
more
is kind of a
dangerous
sword or
those
cell shade of a
season
knot and something. Like that's
six
pretty good.
seasons that
Yeah.
explore different parts of
Looks like a fun,
Guard's
crunchy little
lives and
game.
summon.
Tribes of Midgard. Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Midgard.
Gearbox is publishing it. A Gearbox game. What the? It's another Viking. What is-
cities as good as lost.
This isn't Biomutant, is it? No.
I must go back in order to end.
Maybe.
Or something like it?
Oh, it's
No,
jumping
no, it's
jump.
not. It's something different. That was some great backgrounds. Wow.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
That's what you have to have a real passion for platformers. I don't envy it though, because to make environments of that and make it for like, oh, for that one little segment you ran by it in 3 minutes, 3 seconds. It's like I built that little
got a
house
point
right there.
Yeah.
It's like
An
I guess they can
environmental
do a
artist
lot of
in that
repeating.
situation, do you feel like you're cheated? You know, I'd be curious to know
It's
about
like-
that. Like,
unless it's like
Ori-
a background for like
Ori
a
and the
boss fight
Blind
or
Forest,
something.
like those Ori games, it's like, you know, it looks beautiful, and like you said, you're like, and I sold that for 5
Well, I was
seconds.
just looking at that little cantina thing and looked amazing.
Yeah.
You just ran right by it. I was like, well,
We've been getting
okay,
into
that's
fighting games and battle
Legends are told.
what is this? Fighting games.
Ah! That guy looked hungry. What is this?
Of the battle between demons and hunters.
It looks like they're trying to do that weird Thor Ragnarok lighting thing, but like the characters are lit normally. If you look at
Hi everyone, I'm John Georgie from Mantisco. And on behalf of our studio, I am thrilled to welcome you to the world of Hunter's Arena.
is this Battle Royale?
In this mystical world, you will play as hunters who must fight deadly demons as well as other online players in order to survive. As a skillful hunter, you will master powerful swordplay and martial arts, and will be constantly tested of your skills.
Man, it really is. Like it.
Wow.
You know what I like about this? I'm glad they're doing this because essentially you could have a while this is going, you could have a PS5 like thing and Xbox show off thing. They could basically be the same games. We're both going to have Elden Ring. We're both going to have Call of Duty. We're both going to have certain ones of these games. I'm liking that both of these have a sort of personality. There's certain types of games on Xbox that are sort of, and this is such, every game we've seen in here is so PlayStation. Like every one of these games has felt so PlayStation, like this one too. Like,
always have different strategies in mind and use the
you know what I mean? Like I'm glad that they have separate, that is very distinct kind of takes on
Let's
this.
be honest. It's like it's an East versus, not East versus,
Sort
but
of, yeah.
yeah, East
Sort of
and
East
West
versus
sort of
West, yeah.
development mentality or gameplay or lore.
And PlayStation sort of, it's less than that. It's not just East with PlayStation because they do incorporate a little more European kind of flair
Oh,
too sometimes.
totally,
Like, so it's like US
Everything's
versus the world.
US.
It's like, yeah.
Joking.
You'll be able to team up with your friends where there is encountered the countless dangers.
This seems like some sort of MMO sort of thing.
What was that? That was a pig man throwing a heart. That was
to the
it.
battle royale.
We missed him. Yeah, it's a big guy with his mutt.
Panda man, pig man.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
That's
that'll haunt my
disturbing.
dreams right there.
PS4 and PS5 next month. PlayStation Plus members will be able to download.
We use the word arena freely, and it means 800 different things in games. I
Right.
never know what they mean.
Ooh, what is this?
Fighting game? I like these backgrounds. These are cool.
Yeah, got some neon and some punching.
Age 40.
Oh,
Two.
oh, that's my age. Okay, I can do that.
This is like bar fight. This is kind of cool. If this is like a real, they have that dumb VR one, but this could be like a fun, like badass bar fight simulator. You know what I mean? That's cool. If this,
I mean, there's some intricacy to this animation.
you'd actually. Now I'm thinking of this. I've never seen this in a game. You don't actually do this. Why is it going up in age as well?
This is kind of sad. Please tell me you're not just a drunk that keeps going out and getting in fights, and you get older and older.
But there's never been a
Into my
scenario this
future.
where you like get into like these. This happens in every movie, every Marvel movie. They get into like some fight in a restaurant or a bar like this.
Yeah.
You never see that in the game, that in like action RPGs. Usually, that's.
So do you think the age is your level? Like you're slowly getting better, or you're slowly getting worse?
Well, we'll see. I don't know. He seems to be getting better, but he has a bat
yeah.
now, which he didn't have before.
Well, he's a dishonorable.
You got to use your tools when you get older.
That's smart, yeah. Oh dear.
Sifu.
Snafu? Huh.
I think they just like teasing
I'm
these
intrigued.
things. That looks cool. That's the first thing I think is like genuinely sort of exciting.
All right.
This is Jet, the Far Shore.
This looks like Captain's is it Captain Skyhawk? You remember that old Nintendo game? Is that what it's called? Captain.
One of a unit of aviator scientists.
You mean Star Fox?
On an interstellar
No.
and a light on a mythic ocean planet.
No, I've got it right. Captain Skyhawk. Man, I remember this game.
We
1990. I was 8 years old. Man.
To express our own feelings of awe when we
Youngin.
look up at the starry sky.
You were 10.
About 11.
Jet is all about motion, whether it's weaving through trees
That's
or
fun.
jumping over obstacles. I love that sense of
I love that real kind of
remarkable natural space.
this is where I love when indie games innovate on, because it's like not about it's like just do stylized graphics, but when it's about feel controls and like kind of movement like that.
Oh yeah.
That's where they can really do stuff
Our
that
design doesn't rely on
it can get lost in bigger, you know, when you have 400 people on your team.
some length to tread lightly.
I'm getting a lot of No Man's Sky vibes here, that
Yeah.
which is good, but also
As a jet scout, you'll inspect
This is kind of cool.
and employ your
I'm not
jet
sure what
to
I'm looking at though. Like, what are
what
they
makes them
It feels like it's No Man's Sky without you getting out of the shit.
You'll run into trouble, and you'll have to
That's what
use
he's doing. He's
everything
like,
at your disposal to emerge unscathed.
it's kind of cool.
Might
Let's
be on
skip
the
through this a little
minds
bit.
of Interstellar explorers.
They're like the play. What's the not Lego, like the generic Lego? They look like those people.
Oh,
Play-Doh.
yeah.
What is it?
Mega Blocks or whatever they call it.
At heart,
Duplex or whatever.
Duplo for the kids.
Duplo, yeah, that's what it looks like. Those people.
action adventure.
It's kind of cool.
The Duplo kids.
Music's cool.
Jet has had a long road.
Yeah,
For a
let's
few
jet this
years,
start.
there were only 3 of us.
I'm gonna sit
Three
down
people.
on the
I mean, that's
target.
pretty much. This is 3
Vision has
people.
been sharpened and bolstered by an all-star squad.
I said the beginning was, so maybe didn't say no. Still, that's
Sure.
they got to
I don't know.
work on that logo though. That's really
Let's
not
check
easy
in
to
with our
read.
friends at Sega for more
Yeah.
on 2 upcoming.
And we're gonna
But it's
pass
an-
these discs.
It might not matter. Yeah, you got to sell that from the Walmart aisle, right? Like,
Demon Slayer. Oh, this is cute. What is this?
Is this the place?
Is this the place? Maybe.
It's okay. I'm with you. I'll keep you safe.
again, but watching this when I was like 10 years old, like this looks like an anime. What is that? Like, look at this. It's just a. I mean, we're used to it now with shaders and stuff, but like.
I don't care who. Just come and
This is why I can't watch anime. I can't stand emotional like this.
I can't stand the way they run. That Naruto
Yeah,
run.
I just can't stand the amount of emotion and things like they have too. What do you mean? I was like, oh my god, I can't. It's too intense for me.
Is anyone gonna do anything besides run down one of these hallways?
Zenitsu?
No, we need to find another hallway. Don't draw your sword.
smoking?
Kill somebody.
He's not just pretending.
Yep.
He's
Oh.
really out cold. Thunder breathing. First form.
They have like, and the sound of this is like off. It feels like it's explaining something. I mean, you can hear the sound of them hitting, but they keep just playing like voice stuff over all this.
But also, like, yeah, is this an arena thing? There's people, Naruto
Looks
running
kinda
down
cool.
halls, and then they're just.
There's a certain category game I found like I feel bad about, but like just like, oh, it's like an anime game. Okay, there's like once I see that it's like that's a
Well,
certain
I'm
type of
usually
game.
a hard pass on it, but
That's what I mean though. I'm like that's something people that like those games would understand. They might like this.
except Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's a fun game.
Well, those are an anime game. Those are more just they're
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play those other Yakuza games. They're supposed to be a lot of them are fun.
Have you tried Like a Dragon? Because that one's just.
Is that the turn-based one?
Yeah, that's the one that's like a,
Yeah, I
a
wanna
Final
play that.
Fantasy game, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it's
I want to
awesome.
play it. It's on Game Pass now.
They've hired someone
Yep.
else to kill the guy in his stead.
That's what this is. This Yakuza?
I'd like to see if you can find out.
Don't know.
Mikoshiba's murder is too suspicious.
Or is this this is this Shenmue? 3 or whatever that they got like money for to make
That's usually how that works.
from Kickstarter. I mean, but it was like a big.
I know. He's being an ass. Wait, is this Skate or Die?
Yeah, is this Skate 4?
Okay, they got a dog biting people. I'm down.
Kick him. That's awesome.
Believe me, I'm just as
This
clueless.
feels Yakuza at this point.
Yeah, I think this is Shenmue.
To tell you.
I never played it, but I've seen people. I've watched like on Giant Bombies do like a playthrough of the first ones. So the first ones are like Vita games. They're like really rudimentary.
This has nothing to do with her. Stop!
People loved them, and they got like Kickstarter funding or something like that to make a third one. And then famously, like 4 or 5.
There's a man who crapped himself.
4 or 5 years ago, the guy came out because it's like a famous creator on one of those E3 stages said, "We're working on it." That's all he said. They didn't show anything or did the. That's not.
Nope,
It's something
lost
else.
judgment. Yeah, we lost that judgment. That was not any of the games we said.
I love like Japanese companies' use of
Our
like
next game was reviewed
like
just
Times or
days ago.
Garamond fonts like that all the time. They.
The expanded and enhanced Death Stranding director's cut.
I don't want to watch.
Wait, what?
This is. We already seen this. This played in the other thing. This is the director's cut.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really.
Pass.
Get rid of the BTs.
Mads Mark.
Connecting anything.
Great.
Truth of the desk.
Did you play this game?
No, man.
I didn't play it either.
I'd
I'd like to try. If it gets in Game Pass or something, I'd give it a couple hours. You know what I mean?
No.
Just to know.
Oh,
But I'm not gonna.
Loop hits PS5.
Ooh,
on
Deathloop
Deathloop.
looks fun.
This is the one I think they're.
This is the other
gonna
arcane
devote
one.
some time.
Bethesda
Yeah.
Arcane's Vi-
Yeah. I believe they also worked on Dishonored 2 as well. Like they went back and forth between.
Yep.
Or maybe they worked on Dishonored. Maybe there's the Dishonored one, and Awesome's not the one.
Every single person here is out to kill me.
It's fun. I've been cutting short your meaningless rampages for some time. It's totally normal. That is a typical physiological experience in this.
So this looks like some kind of fun multiplayer sort of experience, like, or even it's just a weird single player thing. This looks.
I think it's a weird
I was
more single player thing. Yeah.
I was on board with this the first trailer I saw this like 2 years ago. Does it come out this year?
Which means I already know what's going to happen.
Is this a PlayStation exclusive owned by Microsoft?
Fuck that.
That's a Bethesda thing, so yeah.
I love that whole Saul Bass look they have this.
Give you a special look at Deathloop. You are cold. You're stuck in a time loop on the island of
This.
Reef where everybody wants you dead. To escape
This is like
the
some
attack,
weird,
take out
weird,
death
rich
targets,
French
learn of the visionaries before
disco crap. I love this. This is
disco crap.
one of the targets, Juliana, is in the business of hunting you down.
so she's hunting you.
Fail to kill the target or die, and the day starts over.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's cool. So it's like a Groundhog's Day
It's an
thing.
opportunity.
Wait, so is it like a Dark Souls thing? You said if they kill you, the day starts over. So
Yeah. So it's sort of like Dark Souls. I guess Dark Souls technically is that, but sounds like Hitman 2 or something too. Like you have to get to certain spots and things happen.
oh, that'd be fun. Man, those Hitman games are cool.
If it's like a dark, if you think about like what is Groundhog's Day as a movie or as a game, it's not just Dark Souls. Dark Souls, they just spawn in the same spot, but things aren't happening in the world like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. You know what I mean? If there are events that happen
Right.
at certain times, you could like kind of hit them from different angles. That could be kind of cool.
You're looking for purpose.
I'm looking for the fastest way out of this place.
There are rules, Colt, and sometimes
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, like you said, if it was like a Hitman Dark Souls combo, and so you'd approach it from
Yeah,
different
see,
angles.
that's
on a
the
different
that's
day.
the this is the Dishonored studio. See, that's that blink effect from.
Oh.
This is like this looks like
Ooh-wee.
Dishonored right now.
I've thought about it, and I think I'm doing everyone here a favor.
Any game that sort of looks like Bioshock to me, I'm in. Try. This sort of looks like Bioshock to me.
Everything
Yeah.
goes back to normal, obviously.
normal. You have absolutely no fucking idea what
Whoa,
True.
language.
One way to find
Oh,
out.
yeah. We do not condone uses. Yeah, I say that all.
dying isn't
So he died.
Reprise is one of the powers
Or one on the day.
that allows
Whoa.
you to die
Oh wait, did he make?
He just ran around a little bit.
You have also seen Carnesis that allows you to yank enemies around and shift the short-range teleports.
Hey, we killed you.
Wait, they remember? All right.
Well, it looked like he only went back like 10. Yeah, I don't know. Why would they remember? Yeah. Oh, that's a cool gun. A little minigun. Crank minigun. The Gatling gun thing. Yeah, this would be fun to try.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
Again, I'm a sucker for any first-person shooter.
Save your favorite weapons and abilities between loops. Over time, you will build an arsenal of weapons, abilities, and upgrades that you can mix and match between missions to suit your playstyle or the needs of a specific task.
All right, I like that. You got some kits you can load out. It's a fun little device, whatever that guy is.
Jesus, he just programmed him to shoot the super.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
That's fun.
You got a murder bot now. That's always fun to program a murder bot.
Oh god.
We use the haptic feedback and the adaptive trigger of the PS5 DualSense controller.
Ooh,
Yeah, it sounds
to
like
make an extra layer
triggers.
of immersion to
Yeah.
your experience. Every movement
That actually was pretty cool. I've been playing Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
And yeah, those adaptive triggers are pretty awesome. I feel like, how much am I breaking these things? Because they resist and do so much. I'm like, this has surely got to be like grinding away at something internally.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna get. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, again, I want to get a PS5.
Yeah.
I still want to play Miles Morales and stuff like that.
Oh, that was a good game. Yeah. I'm still trying to. I'm in the Xbox beta program for trying to get a Series X via my Xbox. So basically, they tell me every couple weeks or so you didn't get one. But I'm assuming at some point, if I win the lottery, they'll tell me, "Hey, you can purchase it through your Xbox account." And just say, "Hey, all right, we'll ship you an Xbox Series X," which is better than having to like go on Walmart's site every, for getting the PS5 every few weeks and trying to fight for that.
That alert means your rival, Juliana, has invaded your game.
Oh god.
Look at that big boy.
Yeah,
Hello.
You'll have to be extra vigilant when she's on the hunt.
What did they say? They say
She's
she's.
the real deal.
They say she's not AI.
Controlled by another player or the AI.
Oh, so the person hunting you, it's like Dark Souls. You can invade their game and try to hunt them down. That's cool.
That's great and annoying.
Well,
I don't know.
the thing about it is, see, there's the thing. If it's built into like the concept, see, Dark Souls, the problem is it's not built in the concept. You're trying to beat some guy, and the other guy shows up. Like, man, come on. But that's part of this game. Like, hey, every time there's going to be a challenger at this point, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? If that's the thing you have to beat. I think the problem with Dark Souls is a distraction. You're like, leave me alone. I'm trying to do this other thing.
Right. It's like, just because I'm powered up, you're going to hassle me with somebody.
But if that is the challenge when they come in at this point, you always play a certain person, that's kind of cool.
But I guess it kind of goes into even some of the Demon Souls stuff. It's like, I guess if there's not a person available, it just flops over to AI.
Maybe, yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the thing is you can't rely on that because there may be not somebody available to do this or doesn't want to do this. So that's interesting. I mean, because I think the Demon Souls... Uh-oh.
This is brutal as shit.
It could be Alexis, but it could
Do you need that scope from that range? You probably shoot him with a pistol from that range.
Yeah.
He's like
Dude,
30
full
feet
range,
away.
You'll see his eye socket.
He's like 30 feet away from him.
No, not gonna do that. What?
I need to get closer.
Yeah.
Cruel, no regard for others. Yeah, that's definitely Alexis.
What?
And yup, Alexis
See ya,
just
dude.
dropped an upgrade to the Carnesis power and a hefty dose of resistance.
I'm so confused.
you just
This
shot
demo's
him?
made me more confused. Like the first thing, like, it's a loop and you kill people. I'm like, I'm bored. Now this demo's starting to confuse the hell out of me. I'm like, what? It's happening.
I'm like, why didn't you just shoot him in the face? I don't know.
think
I'm
they-
also not getting a lot of the audio of this. Maybe it was more obvious.
I think with this, This is their big showcase when they're showing probably more than they probably need to.
Oh, well, that guy.
That sizzle at the beginning was enough.
Here's some music. Okay. We're getting some fun, like bebop jazz here. What do we get?
Yeah.
Where you going, buddy?
It's weird though because I think they've normalized this camera movement for this demo, but it looks like it just makes the game look really slow. Like the way you're moving and stuff. Like
those guys didn't react too fast. Yeah.
You're gonna call me like this all the time, Julie.
Juliana.
I give approximately 0 fucks about what you call yourself.
oh, there he is.
But you did.
Again, he's not that far away.
There we go.
Deathloop. Well, that's fun. That was their big. I think that's their like ticket item.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Oh,
Wait. Oh.
so that's that's only a couple months away.
All right, that's not bad.
Did it say?
That's probably the thing I'm happiest about. Is like, hey, I don't have to wait a year for that.
Did they say console exclusive or anything in here, or is it? I don't think
That's a wrap
Maybe.
for today. But we'll be back with more breaking
Hey,
news.
I'm sending you one more video from a game I saw. I think on the Xbox one. Put it in the chat there. I don't know if you can cue that up. I like this one just aesthetically. I have no idea what's going on in it, but
Let's see. Let's see.
yeah, the surprise one. Because as we were watching this, I was just thinking, I know there was a couple games in here I saw that aren't in that recap that were kind of interesting.
I didn't even see. Maybe I've seen this. Let me play this. Turn up the volume. The hell? Oh, I did think I saw this.
This is an aesthetic. It's like old piece,
Yeah.
old computers, like some sort of 2D 8-bit retro
I
looking
think DOS
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Sad Cat Studios.
have you heard of them before? Or?
I just like that name. Yeah, this looks pretty. It's like pixel art, kind of.
Yeah. It's like sort of really
high res pixel, like that depth of field they have in it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like I just want to be in this environment.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Not really, but it looks very depressing, but awesome.
Yeah, these camera movements and shit.
Yeah, like look at that lighting.
Yeah, this looks just like a cool movie to watch.
Right?
A lot of these things, like some of these games, like I'd rather not play a platformer like this or jumpy jump, but I'd just rather watch it. The story looks cool.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's something I'd rather do. Is like, let me see somebody who's good at this game, and I'll just watch them play it. But
Play it day one with Xbox Game Pass.
And there you go.
Xbox Game Pass.
Even if you're not good at it, it's free or in your subscription.
Well, that's good. I think we went through all the big. This is I have one more video to show you actually.
Okay, cool.
I mentioned it. Couldn't I pull it up? I just realized.
And one more thing. We'll do the Apple. One more thing from each of us.
Yeah, is this? See if you remember this. Come on. It's like 18 button presses to share things. This is Captain Skyhawk. This is what's on it. Do you remember this game? From your kids?
Oh, that looks vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Captain Skyhawk.
Milton Bradley had some stake in this. Interesting.
This game. I had this on Nintendo. And it was hard as hell. All these games are hard as hell. Because you're trying to shoot those little pyramid openings there. Those are the things that.
Well, that's the thing in these old games. Like, what's telling you what the hell to even shoot at? It's just sort of things are happening on the screen.
This is the NES, so this is all fake computer, like 3D graphics. But it was mind blowing.
It looks, you're right. It looks cool in 3D, but all it is like they're kind of just painting it up and then putting collision areas on it or something. And
it's just isometric. Yeah, that's just washed. I mean, it's all just pixels still. It's not.
Right. Again. There's nothing 3D about this.
Yeah, those little things just be a pain in the butt there. All these Nintendo games that I loved when I was a kid. Oh, I remember this now. Finding these bosses. And they show the damage like that. That was pretty cool. All these games, but see, you can really register when you're hitting it. See, some of them go by. It's really annoying. But like, all of these games that are so fun. It's like, oh, I had this game for, including Mario 1. I probably only got like 20 minutes into them. That's how far as I could get. Because like, it was. I beat Mario 2. That's the only Mario game I've ever beat in my life. Like that game, and that's the weird one. That's actually my favorite Mario game.
Random one to have beaten. Yeah,
I love Mario 2. I don't. Again. I mean, I tell this to Zach all the time. I call them jumpy jump games. I'm not a platformer guy. I'm not a huge. I hate jump games. My biggest thing when I play stuff is I want creativity. Like that's why I love kind of real creative shooters. Like I can come this angle, I can go in here. Let's flank them around here. That's when I like. And I like shooting too, which is. But like, I like when there's like a lot of ways to get the right things. The problem with platformers to me are like bowling. Like the good thing is perfection, right? Like you have to get like bowling. You're only doing good like in a pro if you get perfection. That's the same with. Like platformers that usually has one line, like to get to this, especially when it gets really hard on this board. I was like, I hate that. I don't like that. It makes me nervous. It makes me like the same way like Pac-Man and those games make me nervous too. Anything we're getting more intense, higher scores, I'm a weird gamer.
Yeah, yeah, but it gets twitchy to a point. It's something about the jumping. Like I'm generally with you on that. There's some games that do it better than others. Like I didn't feel quite that way in Celeste as much, but like Mario Brothers always just like the twitchy jumping. And there's one game on Xbox where you're like this cyber ninja thing. I could not get the timing down on that. I hated that game. I forget the name of it. Doesn't matter. But yeah,
I'm just never a big fan.
Most of the jumpy jump stuff, I'm like, I don't like trying to figure this stuff out because there's a lot that goes into it too. Where it's like, hey, like how well you go back to the old Tomb Raider games, right? And you're like, hey, where's your camera pointed? Is it even showing you? Like,
I just don't get it. It's one of those. There's like one of those like things with games. Like I have this thing. It's like I don't like traversal that way. I just don't enjoy it ever, and I wonder who enjoys it. Like even when they put it in like Destiny 2, Destiny was part of their design logic. Like let's make a lot of this about first person traversing and jumpy jump. I'm like, no, guys, why? Like a lot of their special and the raids and all that stuff is based on like and then even like games like we play that Fallen Order game, like even those Uncharted games, it's like the shooting parts are fine. I'm playing for the story parts, but then it's like there's a lot of hanging outside of windows. Like there's nothing. The gameplay in that part is not hard. Just like roll over to here, put your arm out. He'll go, don't jump there. No, it's all just like work I don't want to do. It's like I don't want to be doing this. It's like. And Fallen Order is like that too. It's like this is so much traversal. Why can't I just beat people with my lightsaber? What is it?
Well, how do you feel about it in Apex Legends though? Because some of my favorite characters in Apex Legends are traversal.
Well, that's traversal,
like
but those
and Valkyrie.
I know, but that's traversal. Where no, don't get me wrong. Like I like I don't not a fan of not of traversal, but when it's like a rote, like here, climb to the like. Assassin's Creed gets a little bit better because you can kind of climb anything and it feels good because you can climb most things. It's like, traversal in Apex is perfect because it's creative. You can have like, here's 18 ways to traverse things. It's Pathfinder. You could like slingshot off that thing or do this. It's not like, here's one ledge, jump to this, pull your hand out, now push off to the next thing. Like, those parts and like when you're playing Fallen Order, any of those Uncharted games, which they're fun to play, but it's like, it's just filler, time filler. And it is. That's what it is. It's like, I'll go to this ledge because there's no skill involved with it. It's like I can easily go to that, get the indicator that I can jump to that ledge, jump to this one, scramble up this one. Like it's like, okay, guys, come on. That's like, let's just get back to fighting or just give something else.
Well, see, what I mean? For me, it's kind of also in those games the exploration. Granted, you're right. It is kind of a slowdown, and they've got the markers for where you can go for this and that. But it's about finding them and kind of going up there. And
if I was
honestly,
exploring
like the Uncharted games, I hated the shooting in it. I hated the shooting.
Well, I don't like the shooting either in Uncharted either, and I'm not necessarily a fan of Usually those games I just want to do. I play them because of the story, and it feels like I'm just playing a bunch of that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing this because I think it's when games tell me what to do and like give me a real short path to do it. Like I just don't enjoy it. It's like, and in those games, like for Uncharted, there's one way I can do that. There's only one way I can do that. That's why what games I love is Crackdown. There's a lot of traversal in that game, but you could attack those buildings any way you want to. Like you could attack that boss, and it's not like this is the one path up to this ridge you have to take as Nathan Drake to get that. That's when games I'm just like, oh, I'm just doing this thing that I can mess up.
Hopefully in Deathloop, that's not like, there look like there's some traversal there. Hopefully that's like, multi sort of dimensional. You can like go this way or that way, and you're not sort of locked.
Yeah, you would think that Dark Souls I wouldn't like, but it's Dark Souls just gives that as the strictest is like here's the thing, but it can go a billion different ways. As Dark Souls, you could be think you're all hot shit and go into Dark Souls 100 hours in and die still in that first skeleton or something. Like shit, I got carried away and I was like started to rush. But you can also feel yourself if you're concentrating, just be like behind your back, kill them and go like you've done it so many times. You can feel what it's like to feel like a badass. Anyways, we'll get to that later. But this is a fun little thing.
Yeah, just trying something out, like checking out some of the new games coming out. And
I think we'll do more of this as we get
a live review.
as we get trailers and cool dev videos and other stuff we want to just talk about and give our dumb opinions. Well, uninformed opinions.
Stuff we have not even touched yet.
So anyways, all right. Well, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, absolutely.